Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
All right.
That's nice to see you, hear you laugh.
Welcome to Coach's Corner, everyone. I'm Chisa Butler, and I am a transformational coach, and I help you step into your power and be amazing.
I'm Claire Costanzo, and I'm a transformational love and relationships coach.
Hi, I'm Lisa Ferranti, and I'm a transformational life coach, bringing the inner and outer selves in alignment.
Wow. Hello, my name is Jessica Pfeiffer. I am a chef and health and wellness coach. I am all about nutrition and bringing, great foods and health into our insides.
Yes.
I'm Heather Hill, and my company is Become the New, and I help people transform their habits and change their behaviors to step into their new 2.0 version.
2.0, I like that one.
Nice.
Every time you say that you're a lover relationship, I was like, oh, maybe I need some lover relationship. Everybody needs some damn lover relationship advice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
All comes down to it.
Yes, but
all relationships, not just
Yeah.
romantic ones, but all comes down to
I
love.
really
So true.
like that communication, right? Like me and my husband had a conversation about communication, and he was like, I realized that I don't complete my thoughts and I just move on. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. And I feel like, just my facial expression, sometimes I just, that's not what I'm trying to say, but I say, and I'm like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, like, well, and the only reason we found it out is because we did a live and we were going on the damn live, and he gets off and he's like, do you not think that was the wrong approach for you to do? And I'm like, sir, do you not think that was the wrong approach? He's like, well, look, this is him. Well, we got it on video, so I'm gonna go back and look at it. Then he went back, he's like, I watched it 3 or 4 times. I just can't believe. I said, were you looking for 3 or 4 times because you want to see me be the one that made the mistake? Me be wrong? He was like, well, I just couldn't believe that what you were saying was really what I was doing. And I'm like,
That's so funny.
like, it takes being recorded, people. Like, I tell everybody all the time, I was like, I need a damn recorder in my house because I feel like when I say things, he's like, that's not me. I was very clear. Oh, okay.
We have something similar, but it's more about picking up. And I am a truly messy person, but I've become better and better about it because, there's a child and another person in my life now. And if I'm messy too, it just goes crazy. But we're finally to the point where we can really joke about it. And we have this whole video log thing going, because like when the vacuum cleaner's left out, I'm always like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put the vacuum cleaner away. And so I'm going to start photographing and videoing everything you leave out. So he took a picture of my wallet yesterday, and I'm like, but clearly I'm going to pick my wallet up. So we were just
That's taking up a lot of space, Heather. Your wallet.
Not the same as the vacuum cleaner. That's what I tried to say. But at least we can joke about it. It took a long time to get to that point.
12 years running, guys. 12 years running over here.
Yay.
To get to bat.
That
one pivotal moment. You feel like, what? It's like you crazy. Like, you don't see that? No. Oh, only me. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's only me.
But that behavior thing I taught in the Coach's Corner Challenge on how to take a behavior to create something new, I totally taught it to Craig. And I was like, because I've been coming at this from all wrong. Yeah. I need to explain to you what I'm talking about, because just yelling it at you or even telling you or asking you, I'm not being clear about what on earth it is I'm asking you to do.
That right there.
When I say just put stuff up, I mean the vacuum cleaner. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that really bothered you. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So yeah, I told him I was going to test it out on him. And first he looked at me like, huh.
Yeah.
But I was like, you don't have to do anything. This is the behavior I want. So I'm going to create it and explain it to you. And he was down for it.
Hey.
And it worked.
We joke about it
Like,
now.
you're like,
It's in progress.
There's
Everything's a
progress.
work in progress.
It's debatable.
Progress. Everything's a work in progress, right? Just like the last 14 days of this cleanse.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a work in progress for me for sure. And now I feel fantastic.
I can't believe that I feel so different. I did not think I was going to feel this good. And I really wasn't going to give up coffee. And I'm
Hey,
so glad that I did. It's the one thing I've never done.
How
how
awesome.
specifically?
Because I've
how
always been
specifically
holding
do you
on to
feel
it like,
good?
no, I've given everything else up and I'm not going to give that up because there's nothing really wrong with it.
it's great for me.
Well, I knew it wasn't optimal, but I didn't think it's just like there's a new level of kind of clarity. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't even explain it. And I just feel good.
I was gonna ask, like, how specifically would you describe your feeling good? Like, it's like just like more clear-headed? Like,
Definitely
how
more
did
clear-headed and just more uplifted. Kind of bouncing out of bed in the morning
Yes.
instead of
okay.
"Ugh."
I feel light,
Yeah, that's a great way to explain it.
light and airy. Like everything's changed. All the way down to, not that we ever want to have this conversation, but my poop, it's
But we do want to have
what
that
we do.
conversation.
It's a fact of life. And when that's not right, there's a lot of stuff that it's trying to tell you that's not
Yes.
right inside too.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I
It's a great
mean, I've been
indicator.
having to look at it in the toilet the last couple of days. I've been celebrating my wins.
Like,
I mean, it's crazy, but like I have to tell you, I have to share this. Hang on, I gotta look it up because I can't remember it verbatim, but it's about the gut. And I know a lot of stuff about the gut, but I did not know that. And I'm reading this book by this guy called Ed Mayer, and he's like a gut pioneer. Well, of course, it's going to take forever to find it. But he talks about I listened to him on a podcast with Dr. Mark Hyman, and they talked about how your nervous system, your immune system, your endocrine system are all directly tied into your microbiome and your gut system. So it's doing a lot more than just digesting our food. It's determining how well we sleep. It's determining how good we feel. It's just crazy.
Our
All the
metabolism, our
things.
immunity, everything.
I mean, and I have healed my gut, so I know that it makes a big difference in how I feel. But I had no clue that it was like the meeting point or the powerhouse for all my other systems. That surprised me. So
One thing I've done during this cleanse is, Heather, you did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Mel Robbins, and I've been practicing that. But what it did is it made me. I listened to her, but I've been listening to her more intently. And I listened to an interview that she did with her husband at the beginning of this year, an interview that she brought her husband in on, not that she did with her husband. Number one, he recommended this book called The Book of Awakening.
Oh, he's a cool guy.
It's just fabulous. Daily inner work, whole mind, body, soul. But to get back to my point is that sleep is so important. Sleep is so important for your digestion, for your mental clarity, for how you're. And so I just, for whatever reason, forgot how important that was. Life. I started Christmas. You get busy and you extend your hours of your day because you want to stay caught up. And I would have my phone next to my bed. And Mel Robbins gave the why. And I always need the why. And so she said, turn off your notifications for your messages, your anything that, and then leave your ringer on. I have to leave my ringer on because I have an elderly mom, and there could be an emergency. And it's even better because my ringer's on, my notifications are off, and I put my phone away. I can't just lean over and grab it. I have never slept so better. I've never slept better in my life because I actually go to sleep sooner because there's not that temptation of that. And so it was just kind of like all the goodness that's happening in the challenge, made me really take hold of what's an aspect of my life that I really need to get better. And that was it, and it's huge. And I've been doing it now for 3 nights solid, and it's life changing already.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Amazing.
One of my things is going to bed early, and I've been really busy, and I haven't gone to bed early a few nights this week, and it sucks. And then I have this ring, and it measures my sleep, how deep my sleep is, my REM sleep, all of it, and then it'll tell me, oh, you're not very recovered today. You might want to take it easy, or blah blah blah. And
Ooh,
it's
nice.
just fascinating. And it also measures my body temperature. It'll tell me if I have a fever, high or low. It's fascinating.
And
But it makes me, knowing that makes me go to bed earlier. So
how do you retrieve that data?
it's an app on my phone. There's 3 sensors inside this ring, and it
So it's a ring.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
that's so
it
cool.
reads my pulse.
Can
and
you
it
hold it
reads,
up so I can see it?
let me see.
Oh,
That's neat.
okay.
So you can't really see the little
Yeah.
things inside of it, but
That's really
it's very
cool.
comfortable, and it doesn't measure my exercise so well. It measures walks really well, but it really, really dives into the sleep. And my husband has a hard time sleeping sometimes, and when he doesn't sleep well, he gets panic attacks. And we thought it was this, thought it was that, thought it was this, and then we traced it all back, and it all started when our son was born, because he was staying up. He would get up every other night and get way less sleep, and it really triggers something for him. So sleep is huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's kind of like a pillar. That's your foundational pillar.
It is. It
in
is
order
one.
for you to be functional in all areas of your life, to get up, and make that smoothie, or, choose the healthy foods, to have the mental capacity to pre-plan and just
get somewhere on time.
Put your health, be on time.
Totally.
Yeah, that was one of when I was giving my live a couple days ago. That's what I was talking about. What was probably the highlight in terms of just habit tools other than the food. The 5-second rule was kind of eye opening for me. Just getting out of bed in the morning, and also just like I had mentioned, doing just transitioning from one thing to the next in the middle of the day. I found was really, I don't know whether it be starting a load of laundry or whatever it was at the time, but that really, it was just taking those 5 seconds to be like, okay, I don't know. It's
it's funny, out of it.
We do that. It's funny. We do that. I use that with kids that I nanny for. I'll give them a transition, a set, to help them transition, but I never do it for myself. But I'm fine doing it for kids, because I think of oh, I'm talking to a child, I have to prep them, but it's okay, well, how about the child part of your mind, because there's all inner child stuff that we kind of regress to. So I need that, if I'm doing that for the kids, it's what about me? I shouldn't be telling them that without practicing it myself as well. It's a
good point.
It's a similar situation,
The further we get away from our childhood essence, the more screwed up we get.
Yeah, absolutely. No, seriously.
Very true.
Really,
Yes.
it's really just it's all about sleeping, right? Eating well, moving. I mean, it's all basic stuff that starts.
If we all had crackers and milk in the afternoon and took a nap, we would all be high functioning adults.
Probably. Well, and we talk about that all the time, or not all the time, but quite a bit in the Clarity Catalyst training, where we talk about who are the most creative people. Who do we really want to be like? Kids. Kids have their imagination soars until we tell them not to.
Yeah, and that's all about limiting beliefs that we start taking in along the way.
Yep.
And, that's probably why a lot of us coaches have gone into coaching, because we want to help people get rid of those limiting beliefs, and that they can be successful in any area of their life.
Figure out that you have them. Because I have some really awesome friends who say things like, well, that's just how my life is. It's how my life has always been. It's just the hand that I'm dealt. And I'm like, when you're ready, I can show you a different way to think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Create your reality, people.
Because
all your
that sounds so crazy, but it's really not. It's what we're made to do.
I know I had
Not
a
crazy to
conversation with
create
a
your
friend
reality.
today. She too, she was like, you know how like you retell a story,
Mhm.
and she's like, you know, I said, so what can we do to go forward, right? And she's like, well, I did this, but it didn't work. And I said, can we pause for a second? Like pause. I'm like, why did you feel the need to tell me that? And she's like, well, I was just, you know, telling you. I was like, don't say it again. Like, don't repeat it after today. Like, do not say it again. And it's not to be mean. And I was like, I'm not trying to be mean. I said, but you're attaching yourself to something that didn't work, and you're recreating it each time you say, well, I did this, but nobody showed up.
You're bringing it back into the
And
present
I'm like,
moment,
I
into
said,
your
why do I need
current
to know nobody showed up?
experience.
Like, tell me a story. I don't need to know. Tell me that everything's amazing. I don't give a damn if it ain't amazing, girl, but do not tell me that you felt like, oh, I'm going to do this, but nobody showed up last time. So what? They didn't show up that time. Doesn't matter. They will. If you say they're not going to show up again, that's what you're going to have. I said, so stop telling that story and let's tell a different story and let's focus on what we want instead of what we didn't get the last time.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of us are tied to the outcome.
Yes.
And if we're not tied to the outcome, we're attached to the journey, the process. What can we learn along the way? You know, what newness, what experiences can we glean? You know, life is about, thank goodness every day of my life has been different.
Yeah.
You know, it's been similar to the day before, but it's been completely different today. And the unique gifts and the breath that I'm breathing and the conversations and the you know, today I'm listening to an oncologist. You know my story. An oncologist that specializes in another, you know, it's baking soda.
Ooh.
It's baking soda, and so I'm just doing more research on this aspect. It's linked to cancer cures.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Instead of chemotherapy, but it's
Whoa.
targeted. I'm not the expert. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm learning and researching right now to expand my knowledge. But you know, I never knew. I didn't even know today that that was going to be in my path. I didn't know I was going to read this one passage in this book. You know that let's see, in and out of the grace of the hidden wholeness of life. I mean, there's just words, there's beauty in everything that we do, and I'm just kind of excited. I'm very excited.
That's very cool. I love hearing little things like that too. I was very hyper focused on letting go of illness for many years. And it's just incredible what you can learn when you start pouring that stuff in.
Yes.
It's eye-opening, and it can lead to, and I made my husband go to this nutrition seminar with me, and he did not want to go. And this is the one where the doctor, it was a chiropractor, and he took the box of food and read the ingredients and then looked them up online and explained what they really were and how they weren't food. So halfway through, we took a break, and I was like, okay, Craig, if you want to go, we can go. I mean, I know Eden's at home alone, blah, blah, blah. I was like, ready? He was like, no, we're staying. Like, he wanted to know then because something finally piqued his
That's great.
interest.
Yes. You're
You broke
telling
it down
me.
like that.
I say it all the time. Count chemicals, not calories. People do not
Mhm.
understand what's killing us on the inside is not the calories we're putting in there. It's
I
all the junk
told
they're adding to
someone
it.
that today. She was like, how do I let go of processed food? And she's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, anything that's in a bag or a box that comes
Oh my gosh.
prepared, if you don't know what the ingredient is.
Yep.
And she was like, does
Yep.
that mean pasta? And I was like, yeah, kind of.
Is it
For the most
everything?
part. Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty much everything, actually.
I was like, unless you want to make your pasta and know what's in it.
yeah.
You know, I had, and I will just remove all. I didn't read the ingredients because my husband bought it and made dinner, and it was already in front of me.
Mhm.
But what he bought at Sprouts was when you thought it couldn't be done, and it was cauliflower noodles.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And it was really, really good.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, have any of you read the ingredients on that? I would hope that it said organic and it said it was cauliflower. That Maybe Jess has some in a refrigerator.
I know, right?
I
I've
can't
only
attest to
used
that,
for a
but if
week.
something has like 4 or less ingredients, I'm pretty okay with it, unless it's some kind of preservative that I know I'm allergic to.
Do you have it, Jess?
Well, I don't have that, but I have something similar, right? I have these hearts of palm pasta that I just bought because I was like,
I've been seeing those.
So, you want to know what's in this?
Hearts of palm,
This is
hopefully.
my favorite part about reading ingredients. Hearts of palm.
Okay, good.
That's
That's
it.
it?
So they're dehydrated, right? So when you're getting stuff like that, like a bag of Fritos, for instance, my sister-in-law and I got into it one day because I had made this like corn dip, and I brought the Fritos out, and she was like, "I cannot believe you're bringing Fritos." Blah blah blah. I think it was a garbage dip, but it's just cottage cheese basically. And I said, "Well, let's look at the ingredients." She could not believe it when there were 3 ingredients listed, and that's it. The problem is it's not the Fritos. It's the chili cheese Fritos. It's the salt and vinegar potato chips. It's the flavorings that is all the junk they're putting in there.
Yes.
So you grab a bag of potato chips and it has oil, salt, and potato. Why is that so bad? It's not so horrible for us, right? It's all the other junk they're putting into it. So I'm so excited you said that because I didn't even look at the back of the box when I bought it. And now I'm like, yeah.
Let me go make this now.
I'm gonna go buy
I'm
some.
going to assume mine is just cauliflower.
I bet it is. I bet that's all that's in there is dehydrated cauliflower.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I
was
love
really
the frozen cauliflower rice because it's just
Yes.
cauliflower.
Mhm.
And you added that to the soup the other day, right? You said cauliflower. Yum.
It's
Yum.
good.
My sister she's like really hardcore vegan. She got me into like a spaghetti squash pasta. You guys had that. I just like it's that, and then she got me into the spiralizing the vegetables for the pasta.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that. So
That's what I'm going to do with that zucchini lasagna today. I'm going to be doing it with some, butternut squash lasagnas. I'm going to make a nice butter squash sauce for it and then do it zucchini instead of pasta.
I just cannot wait for that recipe.
Oh.
I'm excited myself. And you guys, I'm super excited because I was so late today because I'm making homemade. It's people that have an autoimmune like disease, they can't eat anything. So
Yes.
I'm going to actually make a form of mozzarella cheese.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about this.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm using zucchini, a little bit of gelatin, which you can use because we use that. We've used that forever to make jelly, etc. And like fresh parsley. And I think there's nutritional yeast and some other things in there. I'm so excited.
cool. That's cool. I've never heard of anything. I've never heard of that. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, there'll be pictures tomorrow for everybody. There'll be
I know I love having Jessica in my life because these things, I just think of things differently because I'm always chatting with her.
Yeah, well,
and learning
and
about
I
what
love
she's
having
doing.
you guys because you're lifting me up to do this.
It works out
Stay
great.
tuned for
Right?
the cookbook.
I'm sorry.
I said, stay tuned for the cookbook.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The first one's not so super healthy. It's the rebel part of me. The next one will be way healthier.
It's okay. We'll stick with you through your changes in life.
Fantastic.
Isn't it going to be the Rebel Cookbook and then the Healthy Rebel Cookbook?
Yeah.
Well, the first one is the healthy rebel. It's called I learned it from my friends because it was really all a tribute to friends and family recipes I'd gathered and the reason why I'm a chef. So that's that. The next one it's more the healthy rebel, cooking for heart health, cooking for diabetes, like cooking for purpose, really.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a good one, Jess. How about cooking for Lisa?
Okay. You got it.
Just any Lisa, not just a Lisa.
This one. My real name is Alisa, so it could be a Lisa. So
All right. Hey, Lisa, perfect. You got it. Well, maybe I can box some of my stuff and get it to the East Coast for you guys.
I mean,
I was when you guys talk about that my mom lives in a senior community, and for whatever reason, they have gone through a period of where the food isn't all that great. and my mom has a lot of digestive issues, and she doesn't like anything I make. But I just wish that there was a service that specialized in seniors that gave them a tiny little portion, because she doesn't want a real big portion and doesn't have any salt and doesn't, is, old school food. I'm looking for that service.
What's old school food?
Like the meat and potatoes and a little bit of gravy and a little piece of bread and, maybe a little, some vegetables, just the standard staples.
Okay.
But without pepper.
Yeah.
Without spices.
Oh, yeah.
Just bland.
Jane.
I read a book last year called The Good Gut. Who wrote it? A doctor wrote it, but it was fascinating. And he talked about how when we get older, our microbiome changes a lot because our food changes a lot. And we're eating fewer and fewer things, and our microbiome gets weaker and weaker, and therefore your immunity gets weaker and weaker. So you're not as healthy, but it's really all because of what you're putting in. It was fascinating.
Yeah,
the
old school mentality, if I could be in charge of my mom and feed her, but she's got the old school mentality, what the doctors give her and what everyone else says. And it's a little frustrating at times.
Yeah.
How old is your mom, Lisa?
85.
Oh, okay. So she has a right to be that way.
Yeah. That's why at first I was a little bit, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work,
You don't feel good.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't work. So,
well, we'll talk.
I know.
Okay.
We'll
I see you taking notes, Jess.
I am taking notes, actually.
See how cool it is to have people in your life that lift you? Like, that's one of the reasons I love being a coach in Coach's Corner, because
it's a fabulous group.
It's a great tribe. I love sharing it.
Yes, because everybody knows something different.
I have an idea, which probably isn't a unique idea, that in this coaches group, in the main tribe, I think it would be fun to ask people ahead of time, like on Wednesday, to submit a question for us.
Oh, yeah.
Great idea.
That we can then come online here and answer it. And I think that would be just fantastic. So the challenge is on.
Yes, it is. I agree with that. You post it at any time you want. One of us reads it. We make the note of it. And
and then we can dive deeper on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Yes. Deep dive Thursdays. Done.
That's what we're calling it.
Yes.
There we go.
DDT, the DDTs.
We're deep diving into feeling good this Thursday.
Yes, like people don't understand. They don't understand. Like,
I didn't understand. I was arguing for my coffee up until I even had it on the first day when we were eliminating, and I was like, oh, I've eliminated dairy.
I'm not eliminating nothing else for these people.
I'm eliminating red meat for the love. I'm going to keep this coffee. And the other thing about it is I only drink it once, very early in the morning when I'm going to work out. And I put my shake in it. It was just a habit. It was comfortable.
I wanted to ask you about that. You put coffee in a shake?
So it was coffee, a scoop of vanilla whey. I usually would put my collagen in it. And then I put, I can't think of what the thing is, but it makes your muscles do something. Creatine.
Yeah.
I put that in it, mix it all up. And as long as my vanilla whey was good, it tasted quite delicious. But you got to have good vanilla whey. They taught me this in this boot camp that I did.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I don't feel bad when I drink it. So I kept doing it. But yeah, it's their PWO, their pre-workout shake.
That's for me.
You don't like coffee, so
are you putting anything in replace of that? Like, I like to have something warm in the morning too, so I started just drinking warm lemon water.
I have done that, but I've replaced it with just my vanilla whey and my greens. my green supplement and just chugging it down.
Yeah.
And I just use water because almond milk makes me feel a little full. So it's always something that I want to like show making in the morning, but it's so early. And I'm like, I really don't want to be caught on camera this early. Like after I work out, I look different. I feel like I look younger after I work out. But when I really first, I was like, no, I'm not going to share this.
Like you look in the mirror like,
Really want to.
no, not today.
I did that today. I was like, no, I'm not going to use that.
Because I listened to the Mel Robbins book, The High Five.
Ooh.
But
she gets gritty in that book.
She's like, I know when you wake up in the morning, you don't look good, you don't like yourself, but just do it anyway.
Yeah. Or the high five, when you high five yourself, instead of picking yourself to pieces and talking about your dark circles and your crazy hair and your chin and all the other imperfections, if you start thinking, hey, you, what's up?
Hey, girl.
It's different.
Right.
Yeah. Craig did. He was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm high-fiving myself in the mirror. Thank you.
It's me. I'm high-fiving me. Don't even worry about me.
I'm becoming my own support system. Don't worry about it.
The energy
Nothing to
that
see
comes
here.
The energy that comes from high five, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. And that's the whole point of that, is that you're high-fiving. You can't do a low five. You got to do a high five. And
you do it your whole life. So you associate it with being uplifted, being believed in, celebration. So yeah, but I love that book. She, towards the end of it, she really gets gritty and like, I don't know, kind of like a kick in the pants. Like, why aren't you doing what you love to do, kind of thing? And
are you listening to me, or are you just rolling about your day? Like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, in a nice way. But she ties all that back into it, and here's how you can support yourself. And I thought the fact that her book tanked, that first book, The 5-Second Rule, you would have never known that. She pushed herself through all those interviews, and she was miserable, but controlling her thoughts, because she couldn't show up to an interview looking like a schmuck. Then no one would buy the book when it was finally available. So
I love that book.
I thought that story was crazy.
So the 5-second rule tanked?
Well, when she published it, she self-published on Amazon.
And it was available via Audible.
Right. Well, because it was a new thing and so many people tried to buy it in the first day of the sale, Amazon put a hold on it because of their algorithm and wanted to confirm that it wasn't like bots buying it up. Because, if you sell something and you get so many points, you can get referral links and stuff like that through Amazon. So they were like, hang on, we got to investigate this. So they said it was out of stock for 3 weeks. And she didn't even think about the fact that she recorded it and put it on Audible. She just felt like a failure because she could not sell a book. And her biggest goal in the world was to be a number one New York Times bestseller, which she also learned that if you self-publish like that in a non-traditional method, you can't be on the New York Times bestseller list. So, but it all turned out great because she kept promoting it, kept her mind right, and then all of her Audible sales just soared.
Yeah.
You just said quit everything and just said I'm a failure and not gone on that podcast, because like she really went wild on that interview with Tom Bilyeu because she said motivation is crap. She said motivation is garbage. And it was like the first time that anyone really put that out there. I think David Goggins talks about that a lot too. And I love him. He's like, where's motivation when you need it? So it's fickle. And she just went into all that and was herself and just said what she thought and went viral. And those book sales made up for it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like relying on willpower.
Yes. Same thing.
It's willpower isn't going to get you anywhere.
That's second guessing yourself. Jess, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask about the, you said that she self-published and you can't get on the New York Times bestsellers list if you self-publish.
That's what she said in the book. She said she wasn't aware of that then, but I guess my husband says that's not true because he says David Goggins self-published.
Yeah, it has to have changed by now.
But I don't think he self-published through Amazon. I think David Goggins self-published and sold the book through Amazon, but not self-published through Amazon.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. Okay.
I could be wrong. I could have misheard.
All right.
But it was something along those lines.
But
Yeah.
I love how her success was, even again going back to expectations. It wasn't how she became successful. It just wasn't through the means of which she if she kept locking in and fixating on being successful in that way. It's like opportunity. Like there's other ways, there's other avenues to be successful. It doesn't have to be that. That's not always the only way.
But that's what people do, right? They focus on this is how it's supposed to come, and if it doesn't come, like it's not a good thing. But then when it comes different, they're like, oh, but just that's that that expectation, right? We expect things to come how we want them, and if it comes a different way, that's not what I wanted. So just go ahead and take that. That's not what I've been waiting for, right? I'm gonna keep praying to God and have Him give it to me the way I see it.
Right, and clearly He's not seeing it that way. He sees it differently. But like this is a really good example of the expectations. When I wanted to lose weight so bad, I wanted to heal so badly, I thought that was going to come through weight loss. I thought I need to lose this fat on my body because it's holding toxins, and until I lose weight, I'm not going to heal. But that wasn't true at all, because once I healed my gut, I healed my brain, I started thinking completely differently, and I just kept going. So I had all these huge wins without the scale moving for 11 months. And then 11 months in, well, it was really like 3 years in 11 months. All that time, all that effort, everything synchronized, everything, all the inflammation receded enough for my body to process and let go of that fat. But I couldn't judge my success on weight loss because it just took longer. So many other wonderful things happened along the way. But if I just looked at the scale, I finally just quit weighing. And I still don't really weigh very much, but I'm like way under what even my goal was then. But if I judged it by that number, it was a failure.
Yeah.
I might have quit.
That's what everybody judges, that number. They go in and they be like, I started this diet so many days ago and I'm still this much, or I'm even more now, but taking just letting it, nothing happened. The weight sure didn't damn get on overnight. So why do we expect it to come off overnight?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I did spend 30, 25 long years living it up in this body.
You said 30, 25 years.
I mean, I'm 46. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of damage and being quite careless, even when I was aware.
Yes. So. That's the thing. People I know I shouldn't be eating this, but I'm going to eat it anyway.
Because you think it's going to make you feel better.
It's never too late to start. So
true.
Look at me. Like I'm not never going back. It cannot be unseen anymore.
Yeah. It's real. Like once you know, and it's like, you know what you can do to get the results you want. It's like when you intentionally do something, like the intentions. When you set out to intentionally do something that you know that's not going to be good for you, but you keep doing it, but you expect a different result, right? Like that's not what was wrong with me. It's something else. It's not that.
I have the mindset now that I am planning for my future now.
Yeah.
I am doing everything I can to minimize my daughter's need to care for her mom.
Oh yeah.
I am doing now for me so that in 10 years I can still, interact with my grandchildren.
Yes.
And in a healthy way. I want to be older. I'm planning for my old age right now. And I'm not waiting until I'm at that age to say, oh, I wish I would have done that back when. Because woulda, shoulda, coulda has been what I have been doing a big part of my life. I know better than to drink the diet soda. I know better than to eat the taco over here at Taco Bell or something like that. But no more. It's not even an option. I don't even, because I feel so good, because I did a 28-day liver detox. And it's when you do that detox, and you do it with your food, but it affects so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it affects your clarity, it affects your skin, it affects your hair. People, what are you doing?
Yes.
I'm not poisoning myself anymore.
I'm not putting crap in my body. And that's all.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is, well,
Well, when you think about, I went to see Deepak Chopra speak live once, and he went through
that's
like all
cool.
the systems of, it was really cool. It was my first awakening moment. But he talked about all the different organs in the body, and talked about our bodies on a cellular level. And he talked about how like each organ is regenerated through new cells over the course of a year. And he's like, so what are you pouring in? What are you feeding your cells? And I was like,
Right.
oh, maybe that's why I don't feel so good. And he's like, how are you going to grow something new each year that's going to serve you if you're not giving it the food it needs? And I was like, wow, I never thought about my body like on a cellular level like that before.
Right.
Nobody does.
No, because
Well,
we're not taught that.
Yeah.
That's hidden from us, if anything.
Right. It's a meat suit.
What were you going to say, Jessica?
I'm just saying, I'm agreeing. It's a meat suit. Like,
Meat suit.
Meat suit. I mean, there's a soul in there, right? And then we're given this, and we have to take care of it.
I've never heard meat suit.
I love that. Can I go on Pinterest and try to find meat suit? I love that. Okay, I'm gonna go research.
Oh, like zip it up. Oh my gosh. But it's true. Like how your muscle is going to grow. How's your heart going to grow? How's your liver going to grow? How's it going to regenerate and renew if it has no nutrients? Because I was not nutrient dense at that point in my life at all.
No. So word of the year is tomorrow?
Oh.
I don't mean to change the subject, but
No, that's good.
Right? Are we doing word of the year tomorrow? Like everybody's going to post in our challenge? Or have we done it? I have it written on my thing, word of the year post.
Did you choose yours?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's why she's thinking about it.
Maybe.
Maybe. She's all mysterious.
Yes.
Mysterious should be your word of the year.
Mystical.
Esoteric.
I think we're going to talk about that, yes, and just ask, have you done it? How's it going? Okay. Are you refreshed? Do you have something new? And I'd love for everyone, because we did Lisa did the training in our big group here, and come on, y'all, if you have a word. It's funny to me because I invited a bunch of people over to like make a little canvas with your word of the year. I was like, I'll get my Cricut out, we'll do it up, and we all made t-shirts. Nobody had a word of the year, and I'm like, oh, ladies, come on now. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. And so they were like, wow, I'd never thought of doing that. And here I am over here in La La Land. Well, not really, but I'm just surrounded by you guys and other people with that intention in their life. And I forget that everyone around me isn't like that. So they thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now hopefully that sparked something to say, think about it.
Yeah. So much easier to refocus and get back into alignment when you just have that one word.
There's statistics. If you listen to Tony Robbins like I do, what's today? The 13th? By the 15th, 80% of your New Year's resolutions are already broke.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's when the gym parking lot empties back out.
But your word of the year is your intention for the year, and you always can go back. You can always go back to that word the whole year through. It's not, you're never going to.
You don't feel like a failure.
You don't. It's just like, is this aligning to my word? Is my word alignment? Am I aligning to alignment? It's remarkable. And so maybe we'll post that worksheet again at the top or something.
Yeah, like I was not intentional today with a few things, and I thought about that. I was like, where's your intention? Because it's missing in a few very key parts of your day, and that's why your day
is like if you lost, right?
Shiny as it was yesterday. So I was like, yes, let me just get intentional again.
Well, people don't understand how much more productive you are when you are intentional about your day, or even task oriented, right? Like people go into there, be like, oh, well, I have to do this. Like, no, set a time. Like, say, I'm going to do this for an hour. And after that hour, I'm done. I'm setting my timer. I'm doing it for an hour, and then I'm done. But it's like that new, right? Like some people do it for like a little bit, and then they just fall right back off.
Mm-hmm.
But everything takes time, right? You're not going to change overnight. And sometimes, yeah, you may fall off a couple days, but the best thing you can do for yourself is just get back on and just finish it, right? Like continue to just make that small baby change, and it'll create a habit later.
Got to start with your thoughts, because if you're not changing your thoughts first and foremost, you fall off the wagon because you don't remember, or that negative loop or whatever it is that's pushing you away. Yeah, if you don't start with your mindset and your self-talk, it's kind of hard to get anywhere.
Truth.
Okay. So do we want to wrap up and then come back next week, and we'll be live in our challenge group tomorrow to end our 14-day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an amazing adventure.
Yes, we've had so many people feeling really good, feeling really clear along with us.
Some habit changes, some thought changes. You know, it's so amazing when somebody, like, when I messaged yesterday, I won't say no names, but I was like, you know what? Let's go into that situation with a different mindset. Like, just think the end of, you know what? Whatever happens on this journey right now to where we got to go, it doesn't matter because I know what's going to happen, right? Like every day I pick my daughter up at school, right? Let me tell you, the first year I did the drive, when you stand in the line and then you drive through the school.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all, that damn line. When I tell you I had to be in line an hour and a half early just to get through on time. So I have this thing, it's just me, maybe just me, right? I have this thing where I feel like my child shouldn't be waiting a very long time, right? Like, I'm like, I don't want her to think that I'm not coming to get her. Like, oh my God. So I'm in the front of the line. This had this one lady that I swear, y'all, every time I beat her the next day, I had to increase my time because she was there before me.
Oh my
And it
word.
became my game. Like, oh, you're trying to beat me? I'll beat you. And the good thing for me is RJ was in diapers. So I was the only one that had to pee, right? So like I couldn't drink water. I had to like take sips, sit in the damn line for an hour. But it's like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing, woman? And she would literally just be sitting there, and then I would see her like, I decided, I was like, you know what? This line is gonna stress me out. Like, there's no way I lose so much time in the day by sitting in line for a freaking hour. So when I decided to do pickup, she decided to do it too. And I was like, listen, you're playing with me. You are playing with me. And then I would like, you know how like you speak, hi. She would ignore me, guys.
She followed your lead, which was such a good
literally
idea.
Ignore me. And I was like, hey, good morning. She'll walk straight past me. I'm like, damn it. Like, what did I do with this woman? But it's like, the car line, it's a real thing. It's so stressful. They don't let you, they don't let you in. But when we prepare mentally for something, like I prepared, I had my shake, I had snacks for me and RJ. I was ready. Like I was ready to be in that line for an hour and a half. Damn, it took me an hour and a half. But you know what? I was my baby did not have to wait. The bell rung, the line opened, and I went right in. But then finally I was like, babe, you're going to be changed to a walker, bike rider, because I'm going to be at the gate, because this is an hour and a half is too much. And at this point, we had just moved here. So we were living like 20 minutes down the road. So I had to add that to my time, because now we live we just drive across the street. But it was so much, but mentally preparing for it. I had snacks. I was ready, y'all. I was sitting. I had a book to read. I had an audio. I had everything. I was ready. But when we're not ready, we're not prepared, anything can throw us off our game. Mm-hmm. Anything, no matter what it is, school pickup line, your day at work, when you are not mentally ready, and we talked about sleep, right? Yeah, some of us, we we try to fit everything in our day. And then like, okay, well, if I go to sleep at 10, then that's a good amount of time. But then 10 turns to 11, 11 turns to 12. And then you got to wake back up. Well, 5 a.m. club over here, 5 a.m. Like, okay, I'm doing this. Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get your butt up out this bed and go. Let's do it. But mentally preparing, mentally setting that intention of being where you want to be, right? Because nobody can tell you who you should show up as. And that's really what it is. Like, you want to show up as somebody else, then you got to start being that person. You cannot be the old person trying to show up as this new person, because you're going to fail every damn time. And it's a guarantee, because you're not mentally prepared to be that other, or be that better, right? Like, because we want to be healthier, we want to be better. Like, it's just.
But that's what we miss. That's what they don't teach us, is that it's mindset. It's mental preparation.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, so this morning there's a guy on the corner and his sign said, "Rich people need Jesus too." Right? My daughter says, "Why does his sign just say rich people? Poor people don't need Jesus too?" And I was like, well, I don't even know what his sign means, so I can't tell you. But people don't like what reading that sign, what does that mean? Like, that all goes into you. You're trying to play mental games with me, because you're like, rich people need, so you're standing in my neighborhood saying that only rich people live in here? Like, because he's at the corner of a 4-way intersection that everybody has to pass to drive to a school and come out of dropping their kids off. So it's like, what you see that first thing in the morning, what the heck do you think? Right? Like, that mentality. But I just thought that was crazy this morning. My daughter says, "So poor people don't need Jesus?" And it says, and then it has like, go to the Holy Bible app. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on right now. He's just standing on the corner. And it's not like, our corner is not like a main, highway where you're guaranteed for people to pass you. It was just really weird.
How insightful of your daughter, though.
My husband was on the phone. He was like, "Whoa, that's a good point." I was like, she always asks that, like, that, that underlying question. I'm like, girl, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
So
I know
a life coach in the
right.
asking questions.
Truly, the children know everything. They know what's right and wrong, and what's appropriate and what's not, and to ask the right questions. And if we go back to where it all started, we'd function so much better. Before we were skewed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that little baby is not skewed. Look at him in your lap, passed out.
You know what? When I, you look at the time, you're like, it's 5:23, sir. Bedtime is going to be a struggle, but he's going to turn around, because he's so worn out. He's still going to go to sleep at bedtime too, because he ain't, when I'm tired, just let's lay down and take a nap. Like this morning, I know he's tired when he struggles to get out of bed. Like, I wish I wish it was a perfect world where you could just sleep, baby, and somebody's going to take your sister to school. But I haven't reached that level yet for my driver to take her to school.
Not yet. It's happening.
It's good. It's going to happen. Like, hey, I need you to come pick her up, take her to school. We're doing this because he don't want to get out of bed right now. So, but
his mind is growing. All right. Well, we better wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, and we'll be back again next Thursday. Same time, same place. Everybody have an amazing night.